Okay, so I'm happy to take questions. Like I said, I'll take questions here. I'm going to stick around to the end of the meeting too, so I don't want to hijack the whole thing. If you don't feel like yelling your question out, I'll be hanging out at the end of the meeting and want to ask something one or two. So until then, I'm free to answer if I can.
Yeah, I just have two questions, sorry. One is about the ferry system. As you noted, last year's discussion about the bridge was an interesting one. And what came out of that, one of the aspects that came out of that was Aragon promoting the bridge as part of their development and everything else. Well, we all know that Aragon, in all their advertising, has the big marina. So are taxpayers building that marina? Are we building two docks over there, a marina and a ferry dock? What is the proposal there? And the... Okay.
We're not building a marina. There is an existing dock that was built as part of the park amenities for that when that building was built.
Yeah.
And that existing dock, it doesn't need a marina, but it needs a secure gate, and it needs a bit of an adjustment for accessibility. It doesn't need major works. I think we're investing. I think the entire dock improvement budget is $150,000 or something. So it's a permanent fixture we're doing, and yes, the city's paying for it. The city's paying for it out of the capital money that we put aside as part of the plan for the Q2Q bridge, basically.
So it's totally separate?
Sorry?
It's totally separate from the marina of Aragon and
Yeah,
the dock for the city?
Honestly, I don't know of any plans for Aragon to build a marina. They may have a plan.
It's all on their advertising.
Yeah, I haven't seen a plan come across my desk in the 2 years I've been on council, but you might help me advance there.
Okay, and I just have one more question, and that's regarding the Poplar Landing. Yeah. I'm not sure anyone's aware, but only the park is the only amenity at Quayside here. We only have the park. We do not have a community center. We have well over 4,000 people. We have a significant percentage of the population, and not a bus shelter, and not a community center. That is the last piece of green grass. Are you going to fight for a community center for us? Because there's no place to meet unless we have the generosity of someone who lives in a building. And if there was an emergency, there's no place to gather. The older people that have to gather outside. Every community has more than enough amenities, and we have significantly less. So, can you address that?
Honestly, before you asked me that question, it never come up to me, so I have to think about that. I don't know. The plan. Let's look at what the amenities are in the building. I don't know what the planned amenities will be in that building. That's an excellent question to add to it. I know the discussion of that building, they did talk about potentially having a little bit of retail space at the bottom, be it a daycare center or be it a cafe or something like that, just to have something other than residential that in. But I have not seen that in the plans, but that is an excellent question. I will take that back when we're having that discussion.
Thank you.
And the bus stop. The bus stop. Someone already asked me about the bus stop. A bus shelter is something that Quayside doesn't have. You know that we have bus shelters in some places and bus stops in others. The city, like every city in the Lower Mainland, has a contract with Pattison Advertising to put bus shelters in. But Pattison decides where the bus shelter will go, and to put a bus shelter in, they say, well, we got to have, I don't know the number, 20,000 vehicles a day go by in order to make it financially worthwhile for us to sell advertising in bus shelter. As of this year, the city has a budget for bus shelters. We finally put it, it's part of our master transportation plan. We put in a budget for, I just want to take this back. A master transportation plan deals with not just cars, it deals with transit, it deals with walking, and it deals with bicycles, it deals with whatever else you want to travel on. Walking and bus shelters are seen as part of the transit system. And we have to stop thinking that the transit system belongs to transit. We have to build amenities to make it work. Benches are the same way. People in this town have a hard time walking up the entire hill. We have older people in this city who have a hard time walking from downtown to uptown. If they have a place to stop halfway to get a rest, that would help. And so benches are part of our mass transportation plan, bus shelters are. So we have a budget for this year to build bus shelters outside of the Patterson window. What we have to do with that is we have to propose a site, we have to say to Patterson, do you want to build a bus shelter here? And when they say no, then we'll build a bus shelter. I honestly don't know, again, I was asked before, just before the meeting, I don't know where that site is on the priority list. We have, I think we were planning to build, I don't know what the budget is, 2 or 3. A bus shelter costs way more than you could ever imagine, people, I'm sorry. We're planning to build a couple, so let me get back to you on where the Quayside is on that priority list. I know it's been identified as one of the sites, but I think it's the site right by where the railroad tracks cross the Quayside. That's the site where I think was identified as the important one to put a bus shelter.
Questions. One, with the ferry, have they looked at the ferry going to Queensborough Landing at all?
That's part of the question. Yeah, I mean, I think right now the idea is get something up and running and see if it works. And I think it's kind of like the duck model here for the truck that runs around. They could have spent a bunch of time talking about why do you want to see the shuttle bus, or they could have just started running it and then adjust the model to see what works. It costs the same in the end to go. So, yeah, right. So that is an excellent question. The model right now, no, there's no dog at Queensborough Landing we can tie up to. So the model right now is we'll just run essentially from the market here to Port Royal where there already are docks. And
the other question, just briefly, is you're talking about going down to the water at that end with the buildings. Are they ever going to dredge? Pretty soon you'll be able to walk to Popular Island.
Somebody told me that. It says Popular Island's not going to be a problem. Building a bridge to Popular won't be a problem very soon because, yeah, nobody can get there. Or you'll be able to walk across there. It's funny, Popular Island is moving towards the mainland at a pretty rapid rate. Dredging money went away several years ago. They're going to have to dredge it. I mean, that is a working piece of the river. They do move barges up and down it, and they move logs up and down it. They're going to have to dredge it at some point. That's the Port Authority's going to, the marine carriers are going to have to get the Port Authority to work.
This is just a riff a bit off of that gentleman's question about the community site. In the Brow of the Hill plan at the bottom of 12, that was designated as a study area. And I'm wondering if there's been any more discussion with council or any developments there that maybe people in the room aren't aware of yet.
In the bottom of 12?
Yeah, like where all the car dealerships are.
It's still a study area.
Okay.
That did come up during the OCP. It was a study area in the old days of OCP, and it remains a study area in the new OCP. The city's got I guess the one principle we discussed a lot during the OCP for that site is that it will always be job employment space. That we're not going to take the car lots at the bottom of 12 and turn them into residential property. That was something the council said we just don't want to do. We have very little industrial commercial space in the city, and we have to stop where we get to build residential. That doesn't limit us, and there was some discussion about building some sort of mixed use in that area, and there's a lot of interesting models now in other cities of even light industrial mixed use. Building, you can imagine something that has 2 floors of not just commercial, but I mean actually light industrial stuff. Things that are in the kind of industrial spaces that are right across Stewartson, sort of down the brewery, the winery yard, in that area. Those types of areas can work with residential, and that could provide, part of the problem with that land is that no one's going to spend any money redeveloping it right now, because there's not a lot of value in that land right now, the way it is. If you can incentivize redevelopment of it by building some commercial space and then providing them some ability to build some residential on top of it, that changes the economics of it so that someone can develop it. But right now, sorry, I can't tell you any plans because it's still a study site and it's a work in progress.
To be announced.
Hello, Councillor. I've been a liaison between the traffic committee and the City Hall and the QCB. This is my 3rd year. We have 4 meetings every year, and each of these meetings it's been known there that I'm talking about the bus shelter. So this is 9 times I'm talking about the bus shelter and the pedestrian control crossing by the submarine park and quayside, because that's a very dangerous curve there. Yeah, pedestrian, push button, something like that. But the bus shelter, it's very important. Some of the councillors should come in the winter time and see how the people are standing there with the horizontal holding umbrellas. It's really like in the middle of Saskatchewan. Okay, I was just going to inform that to you that this been priority. Sorry, being sarcastic.
No.
It's been priority for 3rd year.
What can I say?
Thank you.
What can I say? You measure a city's priorities by its budget. We can say we're going to do it. If we can say we're going to do it, but it's not in the budget, then I don't know how they're going to do it. For the first time this year, it's in the budget. So I know it's. I hear you.
We even had the interview here. We walked with her.
Yeah.
Martin's been asking for 3 years, but the Key's been asking for almost a decade.
A civil question, just on the bus shelter. I remember several years ago, the Quayside Board did set aside some dollars, and therefore, if dollars talks, which I gather it does with the city, we'll be glad to partner up and pay for part of that bus shelter so we can get it on the quay. So that's something to keep in mind.
I appreciate it, but I think the city should pay for it. I don't think residents associations should pay for a bus shelter. I think it should come out of our transportation budget. If we have to buy $2,000 less asphalt this year, we'll do that.
On part 2 of transportation question, and I haven't heard you mention anything, surprising enough, the city spent a lot of dollars at Begbie, put the train gates and everything else. What's happening? When is that noise finally going to stop? And it was supposed to stop in the fall, and now we're in the winter, and we're now going in the spring.
I'd like to give you a date, but you wouldn't believe me anyway. I wouldn't believe it. That is, we have sent the letters to the stakeholders, and that is coming to council in February. The date is February, one meeting in February. The actual action the city has to take to pass a whistle cessation law or bylaw. It's actually not a bylaw, it's actually a designation. The city has to do it, it's happening in February. I think the Begbie crossing and the Front Street crossing will be whistle-free by the end of February. But I recognize that sounds extremely hollow because it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey getting that done. And everything's in place now. The railways are on side. The stakeholders, we haven't heard back from any of the stakeholders yet. They have until this meeting in February to reply to the city and tell us they have a problem with it. I have confidence it will happen. I don't know what else to say other than that. Those 2 crossings are ready. They're ready. All we need to do is get the approval, final approval from Transport Canada. And the city needs to pass that designation for that to happen.
The other part of the question is as a taxpayer, I find it very frustrating when I see multiple reports and recommendations and the lack of follow-through on the public consultation. 2 reports in particular. The community center that was just mentioned as your first questions. The creation of the quay way back in the 1980s, late 80s, 1990, when the city provided the whole concept of the quays, there was a commitment in that report to build a community center. So if you go back, and I know you're a history buff, please go back to that report. Please go back to that report and look at the commitments that were made when the city turned over the planning to the non-profit group that took over the whole quay. So there's one. Several years ago, a second report, the parking report. that knocked off the parquet, which is done. The second part of that report was to go to public consultation on Quayside on parking. 3 years ago, your city senior manager was there, indicated there was going to be public consultation last year. Several of us spoke to your staff, and you've hired additional staff to look at transportation. We still have not seen any public consultation on Quayside. And I think you also are very familiar with Quayside and the difficulty and the challenges of parking. And especially since the towers now are being built, additional towers, and the elimination of that parking, I really encourage you to give direction to your staff to come down the quay and do the public consultation that you indicated you were going to be doing several years ago.
I hear you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Linda McGowan, and I do live in the Quay. I've lived in the Quay for about 24 years. And what I'm going to comment on today doesn't just represent myself, because I'm sitting in a wheelchair, or people in the Quay, but also I'm a consumer advocate for handicapped services for TransLink. I sit on the board for the Senior Services Society, the MS Society, and the Disability Foundation. And I'm hoping that you're involving your Access Committee in all of your great plans, which I think are great. The paddle wheeler boat down here is not wheelchair accessible. The playground with the submarine is not accessible. I saw a mom last summer struggling in a manual chair to get over to the slide with her little guy. So if the ferries are accessible, if you think about washrooms in the park, that they have a place that are wheelchair accessible, but also accessible for mothers with babies. When you say you're going to have kayaks in the ocean, people with disabilities also kayak. And so for them to be able to get down there, and involving your Access Committee in all of those projects would be valuable. It allows people to age in place and be active in place.
I'm chair of the Access Committee, so yes, I do have those conversations. I can tell you, yeah, playgrounds for sure. Playgrounds will be accessible. Any washroom we build in the city now will need to be accessible, and we'll also have to have we have some new rules around, the Human Rights Code actually has some new rules on how we have to build city facilities. Washrooms not only have to be accessible, but we have to have accommodation to people who need assistance, which includes gender-neutral bathrooms. There has to be a bathroom that's gender-neutral so that people who need assistance and have a person of the other gender who provides them assistance has to have access. So we have to build that. Right, exactly. And so yeah, I mean, I don't know, the Queen's Park one right now, we're building new bathrooms in Queen's Park with the new, as we're replacing the kiosk where the cafeteria, where the concession is. And yeah, they will be accessible washrooms, fully accessible open washrooms for the first time in the park. What was the other one? I cannot promise you the ferry will be accessible right now, and that is a discussion that's ongoing. It is a permanent ferry that will go. If we go with a permanent ferry, it will be accessible. There's no doubt about that. This temporary trial, I don't know. I only say I don't know because I haven't had that conversation yet. We haven't gone to that level yet. I'm concerned that with the tidal changes, that it may be hard to keep those ramps at accessible angles. So I can't make that promise. All I can say is accessibility committee will be part of the conversation. We wouldn't know what permanent one it was, but I can't make a motion. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's an excellent point, yeah.
I think what you're hearing, Councillor, is that the people here would like some consultation on the ferry boat
Oh,
before
yeah.
it gets done.
Yeah.
I want to thank the, I'm sorry I didn't catch her name, but the previous speaker who raised all the issues around accessibility. I think they're really important and that council takes that seriously. The other point is what you raised about a community center. I also totally agree with that. We need more than a kiosk. I think a community center is what this community is. My third point is something, I was really disappointed that BOSA was not here tonight. For various reasons, I was not able to attend any of the public consultations. But I want to know what the thinking and rationale was to allow zoning of towers of that height, of 55 stories. What was the thinking there in terms of what it does to the light in the city, and what it does to people who live behind the towers, etc., etc. I'm sure you've heard all of these arguments before. And given that, what is BOSA doing for this community? And just one more thing, on a different topic. We heard a lot about bus shelters tonight and how important it is to this community. I would like a commitment from you tonight when you go back to City Hall that you find out where the bus shelters are on that priority list and you let Vicki know, because if it isn't on the priority list, then we will organize to make it on the priority list. So can you give that commitment that you will do that, please?
Vicki has my email. Send me an email, I'll answer you.
No.